Francis here from TYT Sports, coming to you at NouNation to discuss some tactical analysis ahead of the first El Clasico of the season. Excited to talk about this with you guys, so let's talk some tactics. So as you can see, this is a predicted lineup that I think, looking at other sources as well, taking into account the moving pieces from the injuries, this is what I think Barcelona will look like traveling to the Bernabeu. So the back line, Bravo, and then this is another point that will come to be decided probably closer to the game. Mascherano and Mathieu could either be one of those. I know Mascherano has come out and stated that he should be fit, but it's still up for grabs at the moment. But Piqué, Alves, Alba, and then in the midfield, again, Busquets, who has been phenomenal at the moment, I should say, is going to come in there to hold up that holding midfielder position. Iniesta, and then this is another one, Roberto, who has been a fantastic utility player at the moment. He's been asked to play at right back and has played very well, right wing even. And even in the middle of the park has done a fine stand-up job in there. If Rakitic is fit, which again, it has been teased that he might be, I can see him coming back in to start this game. Vital game for him to come back to. And in the front three at the moment, Suarez, Neymar and Munir, I would see lining up. Now, I will talk about the big talking point that everyone wants to discuss. Will Lionel Messi feature in this game? So, I want to touch on a few things about Barcelona from a tactical standpoint. And I'm going to differentiate between Barcelona with Messi, first of all, and Barcelona without Messi, which will cause some complexities for Real Madrid. The mind games are already set. They're already there. If Lionel Messi doesn't play, Real Madrid still need to kind of deal with two of the most informed strikers in the world at the moment. Both of them have combined for the 13 goals that Barcelona have scored in La Liga since Messi's absence. It's phenomenal how well they're playing together. Even if Lionel Messi doesn't feature the whole game, that mind game is still going to be there that they might need to adjust for the introduction of Lionel Messi. So, talking about Barcelona, if you look right here, what has usually been done in the past, right? So, Barcelona in the blue here, as you imagine, Neymar naturally takes up that role wide left, right? And what often happens with Lionel Messi in the squad is you'll find Luis Suarez making runs just as a distraction. Now, he does get on the end of them quite a lot, but you'll see him make these runs in behind and try and split defenders, or he'll bend round so that he can drag centre-backs across. And what does he do this for a lot of the time is to create space for none other than Messi to find those holes, find those seams in the back, and to work his magic. Now, what you've been seeing naturally right now is you've been seeing Munir. If you just imagine this is Munir instead of Messi at the moment, he's been taking up a naturally wide position. What this is allowing is Luis Suarez to take up a role as a central striker similar to that he did at Liverpool, and he has been thriving on it. So no longer do you see him make these runs merely as a distraction, but when Luis Suarez will spin in behind, he's getting on the end of these direct passes. What Barcelona have been thriving with at the moment without Messi, which they can utilise to cause some problems against Real Madrid, is they're minimising the steps taken. Watch their games against Villarreal. Rather than trying to find the likes of Messi in the gap and watch him work his wonders to try and find Suarez or Neymar, they're playing these direct passes. They're finding Neymar without cutting out the middleman in the middle. Now, trust me, I'm not stating that with Lionel Messi in there, they don't find Neymar in those positions. But with Messi not being in there, defenders now are having to worry about the ball getting to Neymar swiftly. Rather than, as if we try and find that gap in between the strikers in the midfield, they'll move the ball across, they'll drive it straight into Neymar's feet, so therefore they're minimising the time that the defenders take to close them down, and straight away they're hurting them. So what I mean by this is what is going to happen against Real Madrid. If you watch Real Madrid against Sevilla, they were very weak in the wide areas. Now, Real Madrid have looked very strong defensively this season. They've looked like a force to be reckoned with under Rafa Benitez's direction at the back. But their one area of weakness is they do not provide enough cover for Danilo in the wide area, specifically against Sevilla. Casemiro, who plays in the middle, is a strong defensive midfielder, but often when you play three attacking players like Barcelona do, is you get caught out in the wide areas. So what I would suggest for Barcelona is I think at the moment they're the most competent team defensively. So I think they can risk putting forward someone like Jordi Alba, who can therefore act as a distraction similar to what Suarez would do when Messi was playing. He'll distract by splitting Danilo and the likes of either Pepe or Varane in there and causing that conflict, whether or not to follow Jordi Alba if he goes wide or to mark up Neymar. And this will free up more space because Neymar is going to come under a lot of pressure from Real Madrid. They understand it. There's a reason why he's the most informed striker in the world at the moment, because he's devastating when he gets the ball into his feet and with space. So if Barcelona can isolate someone like Danilo wide, and if they drag another defender out of position because they'll push forward an extra man like a Jordi Alba who is very attacking minded, then this will cause an extra space in there for the likes of Suarez to make those gaping runs in through the hole, and Suarez and Neymar can link up. By doing this, you're just giving yourself more time for those two who just seem to be on the same page in every aspect of the game to work together. Now, this is just one simple scenario. Real Madrid, at the moment, despite their game against Sevilla, looked pretty strong at the back, and Casemiro was doing a great job of covering in there. But when they spot a problem, like Sevilla did against Real Madrid, all of their attacks started down Real Madrid's right-hand side. Some of them switched across because naturally when Danilo comes across to mark, then the centre half is drawn in, so is the other centre defender, and then the left back is drawn across. This leaves this massive area in here for weak side attacking. And when you play Munir, he plays as a wide right-sided mid-attacking winger. So he's not like Messi. He won't be drawn in so much. He'll play very wide. And therefore, they can have this quick switch, which they have done in the past, which Sevilla did against Real Madrid. And before you know it, there's an open gap in that back line. So from an attacking standpoint, I think Barcelona have all the makings to cause a lot of problems here for Real Madrid without Lionel Messi. But when you have Lionel Messi come into the play, this is where things start to get interesting, because Real Madrid might be ready to adjust with Casemiro trying to cover to give Danilo some extra backup over there. But when you bring in Lionel Messi, the whole game plan changes, because Messi starts picking up this role in here, and before you know it, Suarez and Neymar become a front two pairing, and the whole dynamic shifts. Therefore, you need to worry about putting Casemiro solely on Messi, which creates a lot more space in here for the likes of Neymar and Suarez to interchange, and before you know it, you're left outnumbered at the back. So plenty of chances there for Barcelona to exploit this. My suggestion is make sure to isolate the weak areas and the wide positions for Real Madrid. They showed some signs of weakness against Sevilla. If Barcelona can exploit this, it could be a good day at the office for them. So my prediction for this game overall, I think Barcelona are going to take it 2-1. I think that Real Madrid might go up early, as Barcelona may have be a little pinned back at the start with a team as aggressive as Real Madrid. But I think Barcelona at the moment, with the way Neymar and Suarez are ticking up there, my prediction is going to be a 2-1 here on NouNation. Thank you guys for having me on. It's been a pleasure. Come over to TYT Sports and subscribe.